Good morning. My name is Joe Glenn, and I help companies get more customers by increasing the value or the power that they get in the number of eyeballs they get onto their website, which has been a super successful process for other clients, and I'm hoping it can be for you. So I just wanted to walk you through a couple of simple things we could do to your website to make it better so that you basically get more customers. So this is your website, as you said. So what I like to do is I like to kind of reverse engineer it. So the thing you got to remember is that about 75% of people nowadays, when they want to hire somebody for, say, roofing or contracting to put in siding or whatever, they'll pull out their phone and do a Google search or their iPad or their computer. So what you want to do is you want to be showing up everywhere when they pull it out, so that they basically are the person that they call. So I don't like to help companies, get to the top of the rankings. I like to help companies dominate the rankings. So what I did is, in reverse engineering, I started in Google. I did a search for roofing services, Everett, Mass. So these are what's called the ads, Google ads. This is the map listing. So you're actually in 2 out of the 3. So it looks like you had started to set up another Google My Business page. Which is probably this one, because this one has a review on it, which is good, about a month ago. This one doesn't have a website link. I don't see a problem with having 2 separate Google My Business listings because it takes up more space. So then if you go down, here you guys are number 2 for roofing contractors in Everett, which is great because Thumbtack is holding up the number 1 spot. So actually you're the first contractor listed, and then you go down, there's some other guys. Now the issue I see is that when you enter other towns, like, so we'll go Boston, Mass, which is, obviously that's where probably most of the people are searching. Even if you live in like Cambridge or Newton or Wellesley or Dedham, sometimes you search for Boston as opposed to Dedham. So this is a search for roofing services, Boston. So there's the ads again. Now you're not showing up in the top 3. Which you should. And then here's the so then you get into the organic listing, and I didn't see you guys in like the top 5 pages. So basically it means nobody's going to call you. So let's try something else. So that's Boston. So let's try Revere, which is kind of like the next town over. So say I live in Revere and I don't type Boston. I want to say I'm looking for somebody in Revere. So Marcello, AC. So you're not in the map listing. So then I actually went through some of these, and you're not showing up in the Revere searches either. And there's a reason you're showing up in Everett but nowhere else. And that's because, see, in your web page, you kind of optimize for what's called roofing services, Everett, Mass. See right there, you say Everett. You say Boston, greater Boston area over here, but it doesn't really optimize for that. So then the question is why? And there's why. What can we change so that you show up in these other areas? And it's a couple of simple tweaks that we would start with. And the first thing is what's called original authoritative content. So what you want to do is you want to have more original authoritative content than who you're trying to rank against. So what I did is I looked at I like to recommend 1,000 words. And then what you do is you look at your competitors and see if they have more, and then you add more accordingly. But if you think about Google as a company, what it wants to do is provide the best service to its customers. And its customers are basically who's doing the searches. So it wants to rank companies in order of who is the most authority on that particular topic. So, for example, roofing services in Everett, you want to be the highest ranking authority. And the first step in doing that is you want to have more original authoritative content than your competitors. So I counted these words, and I counted about 300. So you probably want to add about 700 words. Now there's a couple of easy things we can do to help you with your rankings right off the bat. The first thing is, for example, you have this phone number throughout your page, which is great. You want to remind people, hey, call this number. The more times you put it, the better. But then all of a sudden down here you've got this other number, which is the same number as the Google My Business page. So you probably want to have that be the same number. I'm not sure why you would have a different number there. Maybe you're trying to figure out how many calls you're getting from your Google My Business page as opposed to from from your other phone number, but you might want to have that be consistent. And then another thing I notice is I've got this tool called SEO Quake. So this tells you how many pages have indexed in Google. So for example, you guys have 3, but I noticed that you've got 4 tabs. So actually you should have 4 pages that rank. So if you click on this to take a look, you've got roofing contractors, roofing services, and then contact us. So if we go back, let's go back to your site. So actually see, so there's the overview, which is the home page. This is roofing services. See, so that's services. And then siding services, that's just showing up as tab 1. So there's your problem. So this seems like a small thing, but where it comes into play is when Google indexes this page, it actually didn't index this page. So you don't get credit for this on the internet in Google when it crawls your site. So you'd fix that. So that's like a small thing. But all these things add up, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So let's just go back. So original authoritative content, and that can be kind of measured if you go to this tool, SEO Quick Analysis. So here's your website, Four Seasons Roofing, and if you go down here to where it says text to HTML ratio 13-14%, ouch, your website should have a code is below 15. So it basically says from an SEO standpoint, you want to add a lot more words, text to that page. So the next thing that helps with the rankings is what's called votes or backlinks. And what that basically is other websites that are mentioning you and putting in a link to your website. And what that tells Google is Google says, hey, I'm trying to figure out who has the most authority on a particular topic. So if this website has a lot of backlinks, it means other websites are talking about this website. So hey, it must be an authority. So it helps you. So what we do basically is I have a network of websites that are blog websites that I'll mention websites that I want to add more power to or put more backlinks or more votes to. And it's been a super successful way of getting websites up in the rankings. So let's analyze your website. So this is your website, as I said, and this is a backlink checker that's it's a tool called Majestic SEO. And so there's your website, and then see external backlink 0. So you actually don't have any external backlinks. And then trust flow 0, citation flow 0. That's something else I'm not going to go into with you today, but we can kind of work on that a little bit too. So backlink 0. So then I've got this other website. When I went to Boston, roofing services, Boston. So when I searched in Boston, it looked like the top dog, or one of the top companies, was this, Home Advisor, Angie's, and then there's Boston Roofing. So here's Boston Roofing here. So they're basically ranked number 1 in Boston. So that's probably your competitor that you want to outrank, or you want to at least, be next to. So I ran them through the same tool, Majestic SEO, and see trust flow 12, external backlinks 25, referring domains 9, so citation flow 19. So they've got a trust flow of 12 and 19. You guys have 0 and 0, and that's why you're not ranking in Boston at all, or any of these surrounding towns. Now there's a bunch of other stuff. So those are basically the two main things. You want to have more original authoritative content, and you want to have more backlinks. And then the third thing is you want to what's called optimizing keywords that I'm not going to go into in too much detail, but see, you've done a pretty good job of optimizing this roofing and siding services in Everett, and that's why you're showing up in the search for those terms. But you want to optimize for other things. And just to show you a quick example of what I'm talking about. So here is back to this SEO Quake analysis. So here's your title, roofing contractor, Four Seasons Roofing, Everett. And then your description, which is how basically helps you optimize. Four Seasons Roofing provides experienced and affordable roofing services to Everett and surrounding communities. So, and then North Shore Roofing, North Shore. So these are some attempts. Everett Roofing, Bath. You want to say the different towns if we have Boston, etc. So let's go to Boston Roofing and see what they have for the exact same section of their website. So their title, Boston Roofing, meta description, Boston Roofing, but then meta keywords. Look at this. Check this out. Boston Roofing, Roofing Boston, Boston Roofing, Cambridge, Lexington, Concord, Newton, Wellesley, Somerville, Natick, Framingham, Mass. So they're trying to optimize for all these other locations because, you know, the potential roofing customers are in different places. So those are two or three super easy tips that you could do yourself or I could help you with. I'd love to work with you. I think there's a real upside for Four Seasons Roofing. You know, the different towns, Boston, Malden, Medford. My wife's from Medford. You know, they got to have a ton of potential clients, and you're not ranking at all for them in Boston. So give me a call. My number's going to be on the website, and you can give me a call if you have any questions. I can help you with that, or we could go over rates, etc. But hope this helps, and let me know if I can help you with it. I'd love to work with you. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.